Hey guys, thanks for listening to The Cynical Nerd. Please keep in mind that we do not avoid spoilers for any of our topics, whether they are current or past media. Listen at your own risk.
I'm recording now just so that you could say that every time you make eye contact with me, you feel like you need to record. That's either like you expect like lawsuit worthy bad stuff to happen, or you don't want to, you know what I mean? Every time I see him, I hit records for the lawyers. They tell me I have to.
Got to keep one on close eye on him, you know?
Oh my God. This is like the first week in the past like 8 fucking weeks that neither of us have been sick.
Wrong.
It's
I'm sick,
some
baby.
stage of sick.
Sick all over again. My fucking son is sick. Love him.
Oh, is he sick again?
So, but this is just like a cold. Like this is clearly we took him to urgent care today and everything because his eye blew up, which was like alarming. But I guess he just has like a blocked tear duct.
They don't regrow that easily either. So
yeah, no,
it's worrisome when they blow up.
But I got a sore throat.
Back.
But you know, yeah, it's been a really fucking shitty summer for sickness. I hate to like play into the like, boys, sending your kid to daycare, but oh my God, it's not a joke.
No, it's true. It's I've told you that the only things in my I'm sorry. Well, I guess we're back. Oh, back into dad stories. Here in Dad Tales, might solve a mystery.
I like how you remix that song to whatever you want it to be. I just appreciate it
fuck it. I love it. Dad Tales, Duck Tales, that works. Cuck Tales if you want. Like, you know. Might solve a mystery. I'm not finishing that. Or jerk off Leslie. Yeah. Okay. I feel great, by the way.
Good. I'm happy for you.
I'm happy for me too. Yeah, no, I've told you before, so I'll spare the kids. But one of the only things in life where other adults have given me advice and it wasn't total horseshit was like around kids. And it's surprising that that's the thing, because it's such a cliche thing that you figure that like that would be so overblown. But no, like everything else in life, like buying a car, making, you know, even important things like credit decisions, like how to raise your credit. People usually over-exaggerate on like how technical something is, or like how like difficult it can be to make the right decision. With kids, they're 100% shot. All those people that were like, ho ho ho, get ready to not sleep. I'm like, I'm sure it'll be fine.
I know. I had the same fucking thing. I was like, I know they're blowing this out of proportion. It's like a hazing thing. Nope.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Nope.
But the sick thing is genuinely like, of course I love my son. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. But he's a piece of shit with a shitty immune system and bringing that shit. Here's the cycle. He's not a piece of shit. I love him. Here's the cycle. He's only in daycare, which is Thursdays and Fridays. He's going to listen to this 20 years from now. He goes to daycare Thursday and Friday. On one of those days, he gets like a cold or a sore throat or an ear infection or something. And then miserable all weekend, and then starts to feel better like Tuesday, Wednesday, feeling good, doing good, we're back to normal. I get like 48 hours of that, and then he goes right back to fucking daycare, gets sick again, brings it home, snot everywhere. Oh my God.
I was laughing because that was basically the like Kids Bop version of Louis C.K.'s Of Course Not, But Maybe, Jim.
Yeah.
Of course I love my son, but maybe. If you don't know what we're talking about, look it up. It's a fantastic
Very
joke.
good bit.
Makes fun of people with nut allergies. Always a classic target. Bunch of silly nutty bitches.
Yeah, nut.
But maybe if a nut can kill you, you were supposed to die.
And if we all just went like this for 2 years.
It would be, all nut allergies would be gone. Anyway, this is episode 79.
79.
That means 8 zeros right after that. That's how math works.
Yeah, classically, yeah.
It's how numbers roll forward. I have a lot. We have a lot to talk about. Mostly because Gamescom happened and we were being sick boys and could not do it. So last week was my fault. Last week, I get kid coming home from school and he had come home And over the weekend before we recorded, he was sick, stuffy nose, whatever. I felt fine all weekend. I'm like, I got this. He's got a strain I already caught. What a little bitch. And then, I literally, like Monday, I didn't feel good. And I was like, you know what? Let's push it to tomorrow. Hopefully I'll feel better. I didn't.
Yeah.
And it's my fault. Sorry. We're back.
Well, when it's the kid, like, even when it's Veronica, like, all right, even that's hard to stay away from her when she's sick. But, like, I can kind of make it work. Be like, I'm going to blow kisses to you for a couple days. I'm not going to kiss you on your gross, infected lips. But your kid, like, you just, a young kid anyway, you got to have him up here, and you're picking him up, and you're cleaning him off, and there's just no fucking way to avoid the germs that are just, like, harboring. And like,
well, it's like a hindsight bomb, right? Like you're gonna catch it before he's showing symptoms. If he's got all these germs on him, he's gonna. So like, you're hugging him, kissing him, whatever, normal fatherly, motherly love. And then he wakes up one morning and he's just like blowing snot out, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah,
that's in me, and I know it.
Yeah, and that's where distant fathers come from. They're just self-conscious about health. Go for you guys.
And now I understand deadbeat dads.
Yeah, they just don't want to get sick. It's understandable. Yeah. Keep the kids away.
So he said he was going to the store to pick up chicken noodle soup and never came back. That's how the story goes, right?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. So a lot of the news we have to get through, you might have heard already, because it's taken place over the last week and some change. We're gonna run through it. I feel like we've been talking about Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Every week.
There's a lot to talk about. That guy.
And last episode, which was 2 weeks ago, we discussed how there was a contingency plan at Warner Brothers in the event of anything, basically, whether they decided to play along. And by the way, now that he's playing ball and being a good kid, I'm going to use their pronouns properly.
Right.
I actually saw, you know what? It's so funny. It's like you manifest news articles. We had that conversation, and I saw an article the next day that was like, just because Ezra Miller is a piece of shit does not mean you can stop using their pronouns properly, or something like that. And I was like, 100% it does. 100% it does. If all you people can say that, and look, the Venn diagram might not be a perfect overlap, but if people can say that killers on death row aren't people and should just be murdered like animals with no humanity, then that motherfucker can deserve to not be called they because he was grooming children at the bare minimum, right? Like, we can all agree.
Right.
Told you I'm hyper today. Anyway,
I just thought, like, I don't know. I didn't mean like, well, fuck him. I'm just gonna call him whatever I want. But I just meant literally, like, it is physically hard to respect someone in any way when they're such a prick. Like someone who's just like someone who punches you in the face. You're not like, oh, I wonder what their pronouns are.
Right. Like, you get knocked in the face and you start a sentence.
Listen here, buddy. I mean,
yeah. Anyway, they have decided to apologize. So they took, I guess, what Warner Brothers considers the best option here, which is to publicly come out and say that they have complex mental issues that they've recently been alerted to, which is like, oh, really? Was it the cops that alerted you to them? And they are seeking treatment for it.
Sirens.
And it was, they are a good way to alert you. You got a good alarm system there, buddy. Chief, I don't know what it's supposed to be for they. And Chief sounds right. I'm not mocking the pronoun. I'm mocking him because he's a bag of shit, okay? And no one for a split second should believe that he is being earnest.
At all, right? That's what I was going to say. It's not, this is him protecting his fucking bank account. That's all it is. Which makes sense. I'm not faulting him for it, but it's, I don't know.
What I will say as a comic book fan, which is the stingiest angle to look at this from, is that, just being honest, put it all on Front Street, as a previous Chris might say. As a comic book fan, anytime I've ever seen Ezra talk about the Flash, he has seemed to be incredibly proud and incredibly excited about playing this character. And I believe that he is, that I believe that they are. That is tricky to not fuck up. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm legitimately trying to keep this on point. But anyway,
I haven't forgiven him yet.
That's what it is. That's how you can tell. I'll stop fucking it up when I've forgiven you, and in the eyes of the Lord. But for all intents and purposes, they do really seem to love the role. And part of the article I read earlier this week that said that they had a meeting with Warner Brothers to plead the case and say they'll go and do publicity for it and say that they're getting treatment, was because they strongly believe in the movie that they've made and want to see it released. And I mean, look, I know it's the shittiest angle to come at it from, but we've heard nothing but great public test screening results. And I mean, like glowing. I just read another one last week that was like, the test scores on this haven't been this high since, like, and I know you're going to scoff at this, but it said like the Dark Knight trilogy. And say what you will about, those films, but they were very highly decorated when they came out. Yeah. Anyway, look, they are a bag of shit. That's still fun to say. Doesn't change anything. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Speaking of bags of shit, sorry. That is my segue, though.
Go ahead, just do it. Take it away.
Speaking of bags of shit, Avatar's coming back in theaters. Anyway, back to what are you going to say?
I forget. So just Avatar it is. Let's do it. Oh, Liquid Death, baby. Sponsor this week.
Hashtag sponsor of the week. I got a Liquid Death, the sparkling water. You know that really cringy commercial with Joe Manganiello, and he signs like a blood contract with them to like he owes his soul to the thirst demons or some really. I'm not kidding. This is why I said douchebag. Really it's sparkling water. It tastes like Perrier.
Oh, so they're just trying to make it like manly to like sell it to men. But
yeah, they want to make it cool.
Sparkling water. Yeah.
And to make it even less manly, when I was in Acme doing my weekly shopping, what caught my eye was not the normal flavor. It was that they had a berry version, and I'm a sucker for berry flavored things in general. So I almost bought that, and then I was like, well, let me try the OG one first, and if I like it, I'll pick up a. But it's fucking sparkling water. Like, what does it mean you like it? Of course I'm gonna like it. I like water. Keeps me alive. Now it's got bubbles in it. Make my lips tingle.
I don't like sparkling water. I feel like that's the most boring conversation we could possibly move into, but it is important to me that you know that I don't like sparkling water. Let's just spend 20 minutes on that. Well, what don't you like about sparkling water exactly?
Yeah, make a pro-con list on the podcast.
Well, convince me, Chris.
Yeah, really sell it home. Anyway, bags of shit, right? So stay with me. So Avatar was previously on Disney Plus. Well, we'd spoken a couple weeks back about how, due to Avatar's sequel finally releasing this holiday season in December, that they will be bringing Avatar back to the big screen again. And I think you actually laughed because you said anything to keep Avengers from the top seat.
Right, yeah.
But ahead of the theatrical re-release, Disney Plus removed Avatar from the streaming service. Look, dudes, that's like corporate greed on the next level, because even if I got the urge to rewatch the first one before the next one came out, I would not pay to see it in theaters, regardless of whether or not it was on your streaming service. Guess what I would do, Disney? I would pirate it, and I would do so and hold my middle finger up to you the entire time, because that is the shittiest. There was such a simple, like, adage or saying, not saying, but there was such a simple concept when streaming started to become a thing, and it was basically this. It was, if you make your content easily accessible to people, they will probably pay for it. Like, whatever is the easiest method to consume your content, whether it's money or not. And if people have to pay a high premium or get a new cable package, HBO, which was a problem for them for quite a while, which is why Pirate Bay was home to Game of Thrones and The Sopranos for a very long time, then people are less likely to do it. And this is just bullshit. Even if I had the urge to rewatch this film, which, to be honest, I kind of did. I haven't. How long has it been since we saw the first one? If the new one's coming out and I'm going to see it, I might want a refresher. There's no way in fucking hell that I would go to the theaters to pay for this just because they pulled it off of Disney Plus. I just go, guess I'm not watching it.
It's not an atypical thing. I've noticed that Disney put, like, when they have like a new sequel or like the newest film in an IP coming out or something, they'll pull like the more recent movies. So you have to rent them. So basically, like, if you want to get a recap, you have to spend money to do it. And it's just shitty. I think when No Way Home came out, They took off not the first one.
I like the cadence for that whole sentence.
I always mix them all up. The whatever it was called. Homecoming was the first one. The second one was no. See, it's gone. I don't know. The second one.
Far From Home.
Far From Home. There we go. Yeah, they pulled it. I don't know. It's just shitty to me. Like if you're selling this package and you're saying we're giving you this much money to watch these movies, and especially when those movies are like a couple years old, just because you have a new one coming out, it's just so greedy to like, well, we're going to make the $3 off of you to that kind of shit is like, no matter how much I would have wanted to watch a recap of Avatar, which is realistically not very much.
Right.
It's just like now I'm like doubly going to not go out of my way to give you money to see it. It's just a shitty business tactic. That movie came out over 10 years ago. I mean, come on.
Yeah. That's when I go out of my way to pirate it illegally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. This is a win for the good guys. No, Google, I did not call you. I think your phone just lights up out of nowhere. It's like, huh? Did you call me? Huh? I was listening.
Did you need something? Can I help you?
Yeah. Hi, I'm here. Probably some moist tailettes. Here's a win for the good guys. So Spider-Man for the PC came out. And I think we discussed this for a bit. And boy, does it feel oh so good on the PC. And there have been some A+ quality mods that have come out so far. You can be Kermit the Frog, which is just hilarious. You can play as Wilson Fisk. You can swing around as Aunt May. And I think they just put in Daredevil. It's a low-res mod, but I mean, it just shows you the ideas.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about this. I want like a proper classic suit, not a recolor, but it'll come eventually. I'm sure there's a couple up on the site already that just aren't the incredibly high resolution models that this game has because the game looks gorgeous. Surprise. But this is one of the assholes. And someone put up, so there's a bunch of pride flags throughout the city, as there is in New York, due to the very diverse population. And someone put up a mod that would remove the pride flags and replace them all with American flags. Of course, that's shitty. And, like, it's also petulant. Like, you went out of your way. Like, do you think there's just, like, a permanent scowl on that person's face as they were making the mod?
Out of everything about this, it's the weirdest part of it to me is that you would be that upset by it. There's two parts. You'd be that upset by it that you would put in the work to do that. No, I'm granted it's probably just one value, change this flag to that flag. I guess
right.
There are other American flags. They probably just could have done like I don't know, whatever. But the fact that if it was that like much of an ideological issue for you that you would even own the game to begin with is like,
yeah.
Like, how would that not be like, not that I'm defending people who think that way or anything, but like if I was in those shoes, I'd just go, fuck that game. I'm not going to play it. Not like
right.
I'm going to buy that game and then I'm going to change it to my shit and I'm going to make other people play it that way. It's just,
yeah.
I just don't understand the thought process behind that.
Well, it's a game of the year, Derek. You gotta play it.
Yeah. Gotta play it, just not the gay parts.
But shout out to...
I'll play it if the flags are out. That's my deal.
Yeah. Don't tread on me. Anyway, Nexus Mod, shout out to them for just putting their fucking foot down. As part of the announcement, they said, in regards to the replacement of pride flags in the game or any game, our policy is thus: we are for inclusivity. We are for diversity. If we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent to deliberately be against inclusivity and or diversity, we take action against it. And then they added, of course, the thing that no matter how many times you remind, and I'm sorry, I know we don't get political usually, but no matter how many times you remind most of the folks on the right about this, as a private business, they have the right to choose what content they do and do not want to host on their platform. Just like if the local mom and pop grocery store enforces a mask mandate, it doesn't matter what your local government says. You either wear a mask or you use a different business, Karen. I've seen so many great videos of people just freaking out about it. Even the cops don't want to enforce it, you can tell, but they're just, the women are just like, and it's usually women. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be like sexist there, but I've only seen videos of women with masks specifically.
Oh, refusing to, yeah.
The latest video I saw was a woman in a bank. It was on a grocery store.
Yeah. That was back in the beginning too.
Oh,
yeah. I remember
it was
that one.
so juicy. She's like, you can't make me wear it. They have my money. And he's like, you chose to operate with this bank. Like, that's but they're telling you can't come in here. And she's just like fighting. Then he pushes her to the ground. She's like, oh my God.
The only
Sorry,
thing I'll
it's
say
so
about Nexus Mods, though, is that they're very like selective about this kind of shit. I'm not saying that it was the wrong move, and I almost don't even want to say it because I don't want to come across like I'm like, well, you did this, but not that. Like, I hate whataboutism.
Get them.
But no, they have other mods on their site that are like really, really gross shit, like Assassin's Creed Origins, play as a white guy, like just like weird shit like that. That's totally okay.
Ooh.
They have no issue with that. Really, what happened with this is it just gained a lot of press because the game just dropped.
New.
They get it.
Yeah, it's a big game.
So, basically, a lot of people were writing about it, and that's why they acted. And it's not. I don't know. On one hand, it's like I want to go, well, you can't weed through every single little thing and get rid of every little creator and every little mod. Like, I get that. But if you're going to write this statement where you're like, we have a firm stance and we don't support this whatsoever, and it's like, okay, but you only did the popular one. Like, there's a lot of other ones that are really kind of nasty. Again, I feel weird even bringing it up. I don't want to sound like I disagree with their decision because I don't, but it's just...
fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck them.
Just fuck them. Oh, no, there really is one. This is Caucasian skin with tattoos. Oh, no. I mean, I don't think it's specifically like... I don't know. That's weird. It almost just looks like, hey, we made a skin for the game. It doesn't... Nothing says, like, get rid of that goddamn Middle Easterner. You know what I mean? Like, about this mod. Removes eye makeup, Caucasian skin, neck, face tattoos, scars. Wait, is it telling me it... Oh, no. This is the opposite. This removes the Caucasian skin. Is there Caucasian skin in the game?
No, you play...
I've played this game. How do I not remember? What the fuck ever? Who cares? All right, moving along. That's a bag of worms I don't need to dig into right now. Lord of the Rings. Speaking of which, if I didn't have it recording earlier when I said it, we will be reviewing that show when it finally premieres. Mm-hmm. The first 2 episodes will drop, I believe, September 2nd or 1st or something. It's coming up. It's coming up pretty soon. This is kind of a big one. And I didn't know some of these very interesting facts in this article. So, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit rights have been bought by a Vidya game. That's Vidya. Vidya. Maybe with a... You can put a J in there sometimes. Yeah. If you're trying to Vidya. Game, a super publisher. So, I didn't know this. Apparently, just like the little kid from the internet, apparently... the rights to Lord of the Rings were owned by one little company. Even Peter Jackson... When he made his movies, they had to license the rights to make those films for, from what I could read, a whole lot of fucking money. And that it was called the Saul Zaentz Company. Yeah. Owned the rights to basically
not
everything.
A sexy name, not at all. Does not roll off the tongue.
Yeah, Saul Zaentz. Anyway, so this company is selling those rights, which I didn't even know was happening, but the Embracer Group just announced that they have purchased these rights. If you want to know who the Embracer Group is, I don't know. Your corporate overlords who make mysterious amounts of money in regular, non-flashy, white and stone cold concrete buildings that you don't know what goes on in. I don't fuck. It's like Men in Black. They just make your money for you. Yeah, I don't. Dude, I had no idea though. I thought it was like MGM or Tolkien's estate or something to own these rights, and apparently they were just all gobbled up in 1976 by this company who's held onto them all the way. I mean, talk about paying off, right? Like, what happened from 76 to like Peter Jackson?
Dude, you know how much he sold the rights, like the film rights to it for? I read this a while ago, so like I don't know how accurate this is, but the number that sticks in my head is $10,000.
Blech.
I mean, then he died before, and he did it because his whole reasoning was, I want to see this made into a film before I die. And then he died like 20 years before the film came out. Oops.
Womp womp. It's worth noting the Saul Gates, not to be confused with Goodman Company, was going.
By the way.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. Was going under Middle Earth Enterprises. Anyway, whatever. This is just a note. If you're a nerd, rights changed hands. There you go. I didn't know they were owned by one company before. I thought it was interesting. I wanted to pass along.
Well, they're talking about like making like Gandalf and Galadriel like their own like starring movies. I don't like that at all. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. And it's like we want to create a new marketing revenue source. It's like all the corporate talk that makes you just go like, oh, fuck. You're going to ruin it. You're going to make it bad. I'm scared.
LOTRCU.
Lord of the Rings.
Cinematic Universe.
Oh, no.
That's the title of the episode. I think. LOTRCU. And no one will fucking understand it till right now. I'll write it down. Maybe we'll think of something better. But
Gandalf with the Balrog approaching him. I got a bad feeling about this.
Maybe that's the thumbnail.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
Oh, we make ourselves laugh. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so we're going to talk about this now. I had this in events to talk about towards the end, but it doesn't really make sense, as Derek so correctly pointed out. This was actually really cool. So this is back on the 19th, so 10 days ago. But the Sandman Show wrapped up. We talked about it at length as one of our main topics. And then, with no fanfare or warning, they debuted an 11th episode. And it was an interesting episode because the episode really just took two side stories from the graphic novel. And it's funny because I remember in our conversations about the book, I brought up specifically how they took some of these side stories and wove them into the overarching show narrative to great effect. Like the guy he meets every year at the pub. Another one of these quick side stories. But this was two side stories. One of which I didn't really care too much about, which was the cat one. There's the first one is animated very interestingly. So just out of Left Wing with a unique style. And it's about cats and they didn't make this incredibly clear in the show. But in the graphic novels, Dream appears to every civilization as whatever their entity for Dream is. Like if you there was like an African culture from way back in the day that was like tribalistic, and they showed him as this big African god, and that's what he appeared to whenever he spoke to them, but we as the viewer would still see him as the same form we always did.
Yeah.
And every once in a while they would give you like glimpses of what the people saw.
They kind of demonstrate that in the episode where he goes to hell and he talks to that woman who has been down there for like thousands of years. And when she's talking to him, he looks like, like a tribal, whatever. And then as soon as he turns and walks away and the camera pans away, he's like, the actor again.
Yeah. So
the white fella.
They did the cat episode. And then they did one of my favorite short stories from the graphic novel, which was the story of Calliope, who is basically, without giving you all of the historical backstory, she's a muse from Greek mythology. And she is... It's just an example of how I love the way they weave mythology in with modern day storytelling. And it's how this writer basically catches a muse and is able to hold her against her will to make books. And, you fucked up, because it turns out she knows Dream, and they were, at one point, super tight.
Yeah.
And I just thought that short story was really cool. I liked it a lot.
I liked them both. I actually did like Queen of Cats. There was something, like, very... Dude, just like when she... Catty. A little catty. Dude, when they throw, like... the owner throw the kittens in the bag into the bottom of the lake, and the fucking mom is just like dejected in front of the fire. It was just like, oh my god, like this is a fucking cat cartoon, and I'm like on the verge of tears. I don't really think there's any point in deep diving. They were both very well done. But I think what's really good about it is it's the same thing that I enjoyed about the show. You had just mentioned there's like the side story about the fella that he meets in the pub every 100 years. I love shit like that in shows that serves no purpose to the story at all. There's no like the bad guys here, so let's get them. When you just have this stuff that's just there because it shows different examples of how people see Dream, like you were saying with the cats, or like the different ways that he can manifest and his relationships with like these deific people throughout history. It just makes the world seem more like, if you focus on one singular storyline, it's just the story, right? It's just that path. But when you add in all this shit that really doesn't need to be there, it makes the world fuller and just feel more realized. So I really hope that they keep doing, whether it's additional episodes like this or like interweaving it in with the main season. I hope I hope everybody liked this as much as we did, is essentially what I'm saying. I hope it wasn't like some scrapped concept because people didn't understand the purpose that episode 11 played into the rest of the show. I thought it was great. I thought it was really good.
Good. I'm really happy. Yeah, and like you said, I mean, it not only helps to flesh out the world, it helps to flesh out Dream, because we get to see not only like how his character reacts to different environments, because like you said, maybe the main story is this thing, so we don't get to see how he might react with mere mortals, like the guy in the pub, and he just befriends him for whatever reason over these centuries, and they become good friends. And it was also just interesting to see, time flow by like that every year, and all of a sudden he owns slaves, and you go, ooh,
yeah,
maybe skip this week. But yeah, no, I mean, and then I liked it a lot. It adds depth to Dream in a way that I think makes him just such a better rounded character. Yeah. And so you just keep hearing, and again, I brought it up during the main review, but you kept hearing about how like old Dream would never have allowed this, and it feels like you're there for all these important moments that help turn him into the newer, more understanding, more compassionate version of himself that really is the one that we meet in the books. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, also, I rewatched that scene with is it Joan or Joanne Constantine? I forget her name.
Yeah, Johanna,
that's it. And where she loses that one, I don't know who that kid is, but she gets like sucked into that portal she's banishing the demon into. Oh God, that is a fucking palpably emotional scene. It's really good. Highly recommend.
Don't know why they changed it. Maybe they just were trying to sever clear ties to DC, but that's supposed to be John Constantine.
Yeah, so what's funny? Like initially when I saw that, I kind of had that like knee jerk, like they're gender bending John Constantine, and I was like, what's the point of that? Like people who read the book are fans of him, and blah blah blah. And then I read into it, and not only is she a character in the book in the past, so it's not like she was totally brought out of nowhere. They couldn't get the rights to John Constantine, so that's why that's why it wasn't him. I'm like, all right,
fair.
Well, that's a pretty close, second to that, I guess.
Not to make excuses for that, but I mean, does it serve any purpose for it to be tied to the larger DC universe in this instance? I don't think it does.
Not really,
so
yeah.
it helps keep the focus on him. If it's you're like, Constantine, that sounds familiar, but who's this? Yeah. It's fine, and it told the story just fine. So
agree.
Okay. Speaking of books, this is just a cool little titty bit. Just a cool little titty bitty. We know that Jedi Survivor, is that what it's called, is coming out, which is the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. We're both much excited for that. This was announced that there's going to be a book written that's going to span Game 1 and Game 2, starring our very own Cal Kestis. And I gotta say, I'm always for more Cal Kestis. I want to watch him do all the fun, super duper fun things. So this book is coming out 2023, March 7th, 2023. It's going to be called Star Wars Jedi Battle Scars. And, that's really it. I don't have details about the story. I just know when it takes place. And I'm excited to see more of him. I'm just excited for them to embrace his character.
Yeah, he really is an incredible character. That's all I have to add. I don't know what to say.
End.
I'm not going to read this. I just don't read anymore, but, I'll catch the Cliff Notes.
Okay, guess what?
I just like doing flips with him and stuff. I want to do the flips.
Oh, yes. The double jump is very satisfying. Right. Despite all the shakeups at Warner Brothers, doesn't look like Matt Reeves or the Batman sequel is going anywhere. Matt Reeves signed a huge first look multi-year deal with Warner Brothers. Alongside that, they announced that he and another writer whose name I am fucking forgetting, but I'll grab it in a second, are actively working on the script for the Batman 2, which is wonderful because there was a lot of concern about, they said they have a 10-year plan for Gotham. What does that, for DC, what does that mean for Gotham? And Matt Reeves' Batman. You and I loved that movie quite a lot. I actually have a few friends who thought it was like a slow burn.
Oh boy, here we go.
It did freeze. Interesting. Has not happened in quite some time. And you are using the other software, correct? OBS.
Yeah. Oh boy, is this just not coming back this time? Is it going to do this again?
You forever.
I don't want to make you talk to a black screen again. Come on, what's the deal here? Fuck.
Well, you can take a minute and try to unplug and replug. You know, just don't stop recording. Or if you want to stop recording, let me know and we'll clap it out and come back.
I don't. Let's just see.
Yeah. You work all jibber jabber. You know, that's how it goes. So anyway, the co-writer I was trying to think of was Mattson Tomlin is going to co-write it alongside our own director Matthew Reeves, who worked on the primary screenplay for the Batman. So that should all be good things. Who knows what the fuck it's going to do? Who knows where the story's going to go? But that's not really our concern now, is it? We just know that he's around and going to get paid lots and lots of cash money moolah to continue making Batman films. Last but not least in the news, and if Derek is done by the time this is ready to talk about or not, doesn't matter because it's only Hellraiser. Oh, but I do see you. I don't hear you, but I see you.
There we go. I'm back. Okay.
Hey, he's back, baby. There's a Hellraiser remake coming to Hulu, which I had no idea was happening. There's a 15-second teaser of it. It's very weird. It comes out October 7th. It's soon.
Yeah, quite soon. I don't know if I've ever told you this. I probably have, but Hellraiser, it's 2 or 3. I walked into my mom watching that. It's one of 3 movies that I have this thing with. And even though I know a lot of movies you go back that scared you as a kid and you're like, oh, the special effects suck, this is nothing. I am so terrified of watching Hellraiser 3 because I just walked in a part where a guy's severed head was in his lap and they were all sawing people in half in the back and I just screamed and ran out of the room. So I actually have a weird Achilles heel for Hellraiser. Which means I'll probably watch this and shit myself.
No, yeah. So I mean, I would say, as a kid, was a skid. No one knew be my name. I crashed my own house party because nobody came. I'm sorry.
Very good.
Or am I? Anyway, as a kid, if I lump together all horror movies. When I think about Hellraiser, it was abjectly the most terrifying.
Yeah.
It was it was the grossest. And there was just demonic shit happening all the time. And I felt like if I watched it, I could actually get cursed. I'm not kidding. I didn't watch those films as a kid, even if I was brave enough to watch others, for quite some time.
Yeah.
So I'm, cool. If they can make it as fucked up as this, then I'm excited for it. Jamie Clayton is going to be playing, what's his name? Fucking the main guy himself. Pinhead, yes. The leader of the Cenobites. I remember those names.
Clayton.
Jamie Clayton. I have no idea. I've never seen Jamie Clayton in anything before. But it's a female.
Oh, a female is going to play Pinhead.
It's a female, aka female.
A female.
Yeah, exactly. Female. Anyway, cool. But I don't
Very good, very good.
I'll watch it when it comes out. I hope it's as good as nostalgia tells me the other ones were, which I have a feeling it's not going to be because you can't really top childhood horror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The things that terrified you as a kid will never quite terrify you that way again.
Well, then after the third one, they got really... So I watched some of the ones after that, and they got really just sort of psychological horror, and they just sucked. It was you have this guy with pins in his head, and he's like, what if I made you relive a car crash again and again? And it's
yeah.
And the older ones, you guys were peeling people's faces off and shit. That's way more affecting than whatever you're doing now. It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember this extreme, bondage of these Cenobites that had strips of flesh that were tied to spite, and I was just oh my god, who watches this shit?
Horrid.
You fucking goth freaks. That was me at 5.
Right.
Circa 5. All right, moving into trailers. We got a fucking ton. We're gonna try and fly through them because we're already running over. Are we? Yeah, 40 minutes. We're running long. Speak No Evil. Shudder official selection, the Sundance Film Festival. This is coming to Shudder, a Shudder original. I just found this trailer and I thought, hey, this trailer looks really cool.
It looks pretty good.
Us to watch it.
Yeah, but it seems like an interesting premise. It's you don't say.
Yes, it does.
Some family invites like another family to stay with them, and they just notice that they just do weird shit. It feels like it's playing on the whole idea where like you see other parents and what they do with their kids, and you're like, that's not how you're supposed to. That's not being a good parent there.
Right.
But it's stretching that out into an extreme. Like their kid is missing his tongue, and they're like, did you cut his tongue out? Like they have all these, they're just encountering all these weird things, and then they feel a sense of protection for the kid. I feel like it's just taking that really innocent thing where you're like, well, that's not how I talk to my kid, and making it like 100,000 times bigger. Like, well, I wouldn't cut my kid's tongue out. I know that for sure.
And I hope it gets like worse and worse, and they get to the point where the kid with their tongue comes in one night and he just starts going, ah, 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 and the other parents are like, shut up. And they're like, oh, no wonder you cut his fucking thing out. He fucking, this little cunt. So, I'm sorry.
You never deserved that tongue.
It does. It really captures this. Sometimes horror movies do this great thing where they capture like an everyday normal kind of, what would you call it? Like an everyday normal kind of like fear or anxiety is better.
Yeah.
And they amplify it to a degree where it becomes a horror film. And in this case, there's always, there was a time when you were a kid and you went over to your friend's house and your friend fucked something up or forgot to do something he was supposed to. And he gets yelled at awkwardly in front of you. And you have to hear that from like the other room. And then they come back in and acting like everything's fine.
Yeah.
And like there's a
But we
scene
heard
where
Kyle. We heard what was going on in there.
Yeah,
your
we know what
dad
the
called
fuck
you
he
a
did.
pussy. It wasn't right. Just fucking work through it. Go to therapy.
He called you a pussy. It wasn't right, but if you ever push us, we'll call you too, just to get back at you.
We know that's your trigger word, Kyle.
Yeah. Now I know how to get you. I wrote it in my black book.
Are you wearing a Teen Titans shirt?
No, it's a Marvel shirt.
Oh, okay.
I wish I had a Teen Titans shirt.
Yeah, it'd be pretty tight.
Yeah, it would be. Teen Titans. There's this wonderful scene that sums up the embodiment of what I'm talking about, which is when it's like I don't know if it's the first night they're there. It's one of the nights they're there. And the father of this couple, who is the guest, is like, he gets woken up because he hears loud racket, and he's sitting up in bed, and the dad is yelling is getting louder and louder, and it sounds like it's this huge commotion. And I was just like, oh my god, this is giving me anxiety just watching this scene. Like, stop yelling, there's people here, you asshole, they can hear you. Okay, it looks cool, and it's I'm pretty sure I still pay for Shudder because Shudder's so cheap that I keep forgetting.
You just don't even notice it on the bank statement.
Yeah, so like, so good job.
Yeah.
I didn't see a date on when this was coming out. I don't think it had.
I don't think it's ever coming out. I think that's why they left it out. It's just not coming out. Just a trailer. That's it.
Yeah, surprise. You get to figure it out. I actually want to look it up. I don't know. Anyway, I'll give you the next topic, and I'll go try and find out what it is. So, because the next topic is the Lies of P gameplay trailer from Gamescom. We've talked about Lies of P before. This game is coming out in 2023, but I want you to tell me why you are so excited about this. Bloodborne 2, aka Lies of P.
Well, it looks tremendously good so far, I have to say. There's a lot to love here. The aesthetic is really good. The VA work seems like very, very well done. Did you find the date? Is that why you made
September
that face?
9th. It's super close.
Oh, shit. Jeez. Okay. Very
Speak
good.
No Evil comes out not this Friday coming up, but next Friday. Very good. We'll probably watch it if I don't forget.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Gameplay looks tight. It looks fun. Bosses look original. And, I feel like there's a lot of Souls-like games that come out, and none of them can, like, quite capture it. Like, there's just something, you might enjoy the game, you very possibly will, but it just doesn't have, there's just something that's not pulling it all together. And so I'm hoping, by flinging my hand out like this directly into my camera,
the gabagool,
that this can do it. It looks like the combat is fucking tight as shit. There's like some kind of magic gadgetry going on with your left arm, but you can clearly, like, Sekiro. You have like different weapons you can switch between. There's a parry, I'm going to try to find it, that like is exactly what you expect in a parry. Whereas, what's it called? Thymesia, which just came out, which is actually getting like better reviews than I thought it would. I'm still not going to buy it. Oh god,
I hated that fucking demo.
Yeah, it was not good. But if you go to, where was it? Yeah. Like 10 to 13-ish. There's a parry there that just looks like juice. I think that's what it was. No. 206, final answer. Anyway, it seems like there might actually be. I figured this was just going to be like an aesthetically pleasing thing, but it seems like there's an actual like story tying everything together. Yeah, I mean, it just fucking looks cool.
It's such a weird, like, I want to call it underdog. I guess it is an underdog. It's a small indie studio. That when we heard about this, it was the kind of thing where, okay, intro looks pretty, but they always do when they first announce them. You know, and you just don't think it's going to live up to the hype, but this seems to be bringing some, whether or not the storyline and world are batshit crazy or really interesting is still kind of up in the air for me. But the combat looks fun. It looks like the, what I would call, you know, I don't know, gadget system looks like somewhat fleshed out and thought out. And I don't know, it could really be great. I mean, it really has potential to be great.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, the only thing, like, you know, I think that especially games like this that are not from a big studio, that are sort of like coming after a big studio, they do know how to cut their trailers. And that was the case with Thymesia. And like, they would show these shots that were like really cool, but what they wouldn't show is that in between these little fights are just long, boring hallways that are filled with fucking nothing at all.
Yeah.
So like, this could still be, you know, a perpetrator of that, but there's no reason to think it will. I'm just saying, like, they always know exactly what parts to showcase in the trailers, of course. But
right.
I am hoping for the best because this looks really cool. It's just like, there's no reason that this should be this cool. Oh, you play as Pinocchio, but you fight machines, then they're monsters. But it's like a dark fantasy. What the fuck are you talking about, idiot? And then you watch it, and it's like, oh, holy shit. I mean, this looks fucking cool, dude.
It does look cool. Coming out 2023. When it comes out, it will be coming out day one on Game Pass, which is cool. We don't have an official release date just yet. Very, very excited for that. And that's all.
This and Black Myth, man, those both look just so fucking good.
Yeah,
dude.
I had like an 8-minute gameplay demo in here that I pulled out because I was just like, we've done like 2 of those already. And
was there another one?
Yeah,
I'm
it was
watching
just like
that as soon as we're done.
It was like showing off 4K or something, and I was like, all right, well, we get it. Anyway, speaking of we get it, Lord of the Rings, Ring of Power, new trailer came out. This is another full-length, boy. We've gotten a couple of these already.
Yeah.
And I don't really have anything to add to this besides to remind everybody it's coming out this week and to say that the quality of the cinematography in this continues to impress me. There are several shots in this show that I'm scanning the boundaries of the frame for things that feel off or wrong or fake, and I can't find any.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's just impressive. I mean, obviously I know that there's a shot that's playing right now with Galadriel walking onto a ship, and I know that she's not really standing in the sun in the valley of a huge human or elven city.
Yeah.
But she sure fucking looks like she is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm still looking forward to it. I thought the trailer looked good. I just don't understand why they put a pop song as the backtrack. That was such a weird choice to me. Like, I don't know. You've just never seen that in Lord of the Rings before. It's just bizarre. Like, why not just go with the orchestral thing that's worked for all the other worked very well for all the other trailers? Or like, I know in the one there was like a classical folk song in the background. Like, this is what matches the tone of what's already established.
Right.
I don't want to fixate on this, but it did bother me. I just don't understand it. Like, it's not like fucking that weird MTV fantasy TV show. Like, this is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And it deserves a certain amount of, I don't know, reverence or something. Riverdale. Lord of the Riverdale.
Yo, beat me to it. The Lord of the Riverdales. Yeah, it looks great, man. It really does. Like, visually just looks stunning.
Yeah.
Every time I see a shot where I'm expecting to see like cheap CGI cut in, it doesn't. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we've known for a while that Amazon has spent, I don't know, 1/10 of 1% of Jeff Bezos as well from the show. But I mean,
which is quite a bit of money.
Yeah. It's no laughing matter. Okay. Moving on. We have good speed going on here. We've talked about Hogwarts Legacy before. Dario and I have talked about our affection for this game and how it looks pretty incredible. This is a short little minute and a half. Well, it's about 2 minutes. Trailer that focuses on how you can take a kind of a dark path if you want to. Like you can take a light path or a dark path, and I think it looks fucking sick.
I'm so pumped for this game, dude.
Yeah.
There's nothing much to add. It's just not like it did show another layer to it. I guess there's going to be some kind of morality system. Seems like you have a choice. There's like, well, either you can cast the Curcio curse on me, or I can cast it on you. Yeah, I don't know what to say. This game just looks beautiful, and I can't wait for it. And again, this they've shown a lot on, so I'm hoping there's no corners cut. Like, because if they can deliver what they're promising, this is going to be like a fucking massive, incredible game. So it just looks great. Looks like a good old and wand combat looks excellent.
I can teach you Crucio, or I can cast it on you.
Cast it upon you.
You little shit. Wingardium Leviosa. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, no, it looks pretty sick. Like you said, I mean, we've talked about wand combat before, but we've seen gameplay of it in use, not just like this kind of in-game cinematic stuff. And it looks pretty tight. It looks pretty seamless.
Yeah.
I'm imagining it's just more of a quick hit thing where you assign the spells that you want to use to buttons on the controller, and you can just fling them out whenever you want.
Yeah, just fling them.
Just fling them and zing them.
This is going to be a PS5 game for me. I don't know why. This just feels like something I want to like play on the big screen. Kick on back.
That's fair. This game comes out February 10th, 2023. Not that far off. In fact, this little gameplay morality trailer is showing off pre-order bonuses, so we're getting close. That's how you can tell. They do one of the pre-order bonuses though is a fucking Thestral mount, which is sick.
They're so
Cool. Fucking jerk offs. This game is it is coming to PC. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, pre-orders on August 25th, so you can pre-order now. And basically coming to every fucking console. Somehow coming to Switch. I don't know how they're doing it.
Good luck.
Maybe they're just streaming it to Switch. Who knows? from somebody else's machine. Yeah, I can't wait, dude. I'm absolutely gonna play it. Can't wait. So can't wait a lot.
Can't wait.
Moving on to things I can definitely wait for. Sonic Frontiers. We got another look at that game from Gamescom. I've never. Once Sonic got out of 2D space, I never really cared about him anymore.
Same.
And that's kind of where I am right now. This trailer feels like a response to the backlash from the last one, where they were like, this is like Breath of the Wild with a couple like speed bumps for him.
Springy pads or whatever they're called.
Like bouncy pads. This one is much more like, no, look, there's whole sections that are more 2D with a 2D feel to them, and there's stuff that looks like traditional, green hills, and there's open world stuff, but there's a million things everywhere to trick off of and to bounce and speed and run. And some weird digital weeb chick in here who's like giving some story beats. I don't know what's going on.
I would have liked this like 20% more if she just wasn't in the trailer at all. That just took 100%. Me out of it. I was like, oh man, there's Sonic lore. That's right. It just reminded me that that's a thing.
There's they showed off some cool backgrounds. There's Temple Run. There's a section that 100% looked like Temple Run. There's like a cool city, actually. There was like a highway with a bunch of. It was, I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna buy this unless it comes out and people are calling it like the next coming of Sonic.
Yeah, I actually thought it looked kind of cool. Not like I'm gonna buy it day one or anything, but it just made me think. There's like this versatility and there's like all these tricks and shit. Kind of made me think of Super Mario Odyssey, and I'm like, maybe this could be like Sonic's Super Mario Odyssey. That is a huge bar to achieve. That game is fucking perfect. But no, I thought it looked fun. I actually liked it. Again, not day one buyer liked it, but eventually I'll pick it up, especially because it's coming to fucking everything under the sun.
Everything. Yeah. This is we're still unfortunately in that, and it's coming out soon too, November 8th. 2022. We're still in that weird interim where they're making a bunch of shit for previous gen, and I really just want to get past it.
Yeah.
But we're still here, so we got to deal with it. Guess what Sonic's trying to find in this game?
Is it a Chaos Emerald?
It's Chaos Emeralds.
Really?
Yeah. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Like that's not fair because like What was Mario trying to find in his last game?
Oh,
The princess.
Yeah. Stars to find her.
And let's be real,
Moons,
not just the princess, but he's chasing that Prince Poos.
Yeah.
The princess.
The
Poos.
pussy.
All right.
It's probably
moving on.
princessy, right? If anything.
Princessy. Yeah, that just sounds weird though.
Yeah.
There's a bad ring to it.
Sturdy. Did you beat Super Mario Odyssey?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Ah, dude, that last fight where you fight Bowser and you're like, oh my god, what do I do? And then you realize you have to hat into him and just Bowser smash your way through.
Yeah. Was very titties. This next game's kind of a weird one. So we knew that Dune came out and there was a big resurgence in Dune properties, and there's a Dune RTS game I think out right now. Yeah. That I don't know how well it did critically, but we knew that there were other Dune things coming. This is a survival game, an MMO survival game in the world of Dune called Dune Awakening. And we have this cinematic trailer, but there's no gameplay in this. So I have no idea what it looks like. I'll just say this. Do I think that a open world survival game set on Arrakis is going to be interesting? No, I don't. If you've seen Arrakis, it's a desert. So that means that every world will look like you're on Tatooine the whole time.
Yeah.
And I know they're different sci-fi universes, but for the sake of my argument, they're not. So I don't know. So I can see survival, I get excited. I see Dune, I get excited. And then I see open world survival MMO on Arrakis, and I think, it's going to be brown.
Yeah. And it's just going to be about like harvesting water. That's going to be 90% of the game.
Yeah, the mighty, mighty brown tones.
Yeah. That was pretty good. No, I don't feel any excitement about it at all. Same with the RTS. I mean, I hope it's good. I'll steal your line. I never want things to be bad. That's not true. I like it when things are bad. I like to shit on things. It makes me feel good. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Like, even we have another one coming up that's like primarily a cinematic trailer, but then at the end they at least showed you a couple clips of gameplay. So I'm like, all right, well, they give you something to chew on. I hate purely cinematic trailers.
And then you're talking about Atlas Fallen, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
I knew it.
That is correct.
That is correct. Well, all right, we'll scooch the booch on past it here. We've seen a lot of Gotham Night stuff because the game is coming out, surprise, surprise, relatively soon. Comes out in October. October 21st to be precise. I don't know why I said it like that.
It's okay.
This is a villains trailer. And they've shown Renee Montoya, but they've also just shown Harley Quinn, so she's confirmed now. They show Professor Pig. Professor Pike. They show Clayface, he looks fucking kind of cool.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze, who always seems to be around. And it just shows more combat. And the only reason I put this in here, because we've seen plenty of it at this point, two reasons. Because they also released a 10-minute gameplay boss fight against Harley Quinn that I didn't put in here. But the two things were, one, the date changed. It moved up a little bit. So it's October 21st. I think it used to be like the 25th or something. That's just a little PSA for people. Mm-hmm. The other is that our big concern previously was that the combat get tightened up. And in the gameplay snippets, in the gameplay that I watched, and in some of the trailer, it is getting tightened up. It looks much better. Okay. Much, much better. That being said, I still don't know if I like the overall vibe they're going for with Gotham and these characters. Like some of the combat's like Arkham-y, but then Nightwing has like this freeze move that like shoots out, and then he's got like a stun, and when he stuns people, like a big version of his emblem like pops up. It's hard to describe without you watching it, but it doesn't. I prefer my Gotham heroes to be more grounded because, well, they're all supposed to be normal people.
Yeah.
So this just feels weird and like really kind of arcadey, and maybe that's what they're going for, and maybe it's going to work. It's just that, I know that this is not supposed to be related to the Arkham verse that Rocksteady made, but it's hard to feel like it doesn't, even if they say it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like it's hard for me to separate those two Gothams because they share a design thread in there somewhere, even if it's buried at this point. And to see this game and then to watch things like that happen in combat, I'm like, that was like the arcade version of a fight I've done in Arkham City. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'll link you the video so you can see it later. But it comes out soon. We'll get to see for ourselves if it's worth anything or if it's a bag of shit. Use that phrase a lot tonight. We'll just call it an avatar. We'll see if it's worth anything or an avatar. And go from there. I don't know. Did you watch this trailer? Did you?
I did.
They recast the voice of Harley Quinn, and whoever's doing it sucks. The end.
Yeah. I didn't even know if it was her, but like eventually you just sort of figured out like, okay, pigtails, sassy, mean Harley Quinn.
Check.
Yeah. No, nothing to add. It's I'm happy to hear. I know that they've been releasing these like 8 to 10 minute long gameplay videos of like the different characters, and I just haven't watched them because that's a lot of time. But it is good to hear that the combat is tightening up. The world seems interesting to me. I didn't pick up on the arcadey type stuff that you were talking about, so I think I'm like less of a naysayer. The one thing that's sticking out in my head is stuff that, like when you have 4 characters and they all have 2 modes, we'll say traversal and fighting. And so like you were saying, Nightwing has this weird like glider thing that he uses because he just doesn't in fiction have like any kind of mode of transportation outside of that. I'm worried that we're going to see stuff like that. Like even what you're talking about with this shock thing, like maybe every one you play as has some like group stun ability, and that's just like the best thing they could get. Like, oh, let's make a symbol on his chest, stun everyone. Like if they try to like equalize everyone like that so that everybody feels the same and has, I don't know, it could just turn out not great. But I'm not really basing that on anything, so that doesn't really feel fair. Other than the glider, anyway. So I guess we'll just see.
Fuck that glider.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. So I talked about this. We talked about this influx of horror properties that were showing up that were going to be asymmetric shooters. And I've had quite a lot to say about that because I feel like it's one company had the idea, and then another company realized that there's like 16 other horror killers that could be made into asymmetric games, and they've been doing that ad nauseum until they can't make money off it anymore. This, however, seems a little different and a little sillier. And while at first I was a bit pessimistic, it looks to at least be a little different from a little sillier, a little gorier, and a little different than the normal, what you would call like asymmetric horror games, which is like a 4v1 or whatever. So this is Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which no one saw coming. And the trailer is actually quite entertaining because the movies were goofy, right? Like, where did they have moments where they could be scary? Sure, but like where they kind of like weren't. Like, unless you're a little kid and already have like a phobia of clowns or something, like,
and outer space.
And outer space together. Oh, my wife would not have a good time. But like, they ring the doorbell and there's a bunch of pizzas. You can clearly see like the red hair of the clown and whatever. It looks like there's going to be teams of people though. It looks like it's going to be kids / teenagers versus the Killer Clowns from Outer Space with all of their wacky and horrific weaponry. I see like stun guns and tasers and shit like that. Special moves. And who knows? It could be a lot of fun. This could feel more akin to Evil Dead the game.
Yeah.
If they do it right. So we'll have to see. I don't know, but the trailer was fun and surprised me because I didn't know it was fucking. I was like, well, what?
I didn't find it fun. I never watched.
No.
And there's one reason I never watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh.
Like, not like I refused to. It just never happened. So like I don't have that like, oh, that movie thing going on. So it just looks like goofy nonsense to me. I know a lot of people are excited about it, so I'm happy for them. I wish I could share in that, but it's just not. I don't know. Running around as a clown with your clown gun and shooting teenagers is just not like a selling point for me.
It's gonna be wonderful.
Yeah, I hope it is. Speaking of the asymmetric multiplayer, you know what I really want to revisit is fucking Hunt. I really want to get back into Hunt.
I do too, and you know why? Because I've been reading a lot of people who are discovering it for like the first time.
Yeah, that's what like brought it back up to me. I'm like, shit, I like got really into that game, and then we just started playing some other game, so I just uninstalled it and never went back, and it was really, really fun.
Oh, see, that's one of the rare ones I've left installed. I still have it on.
Really? Wow, it's very atypical for you.
I know. I'm very proud of myself. I have a couple that hold the coveted slot. Let me see what else I got in here. Let's just take the. Well, I know we have a short time span, but let me just stop what we're doing in Distracts and talk about. I left Dying Light 2 installed because I do want to go back to it and play it. I got sidetracked with Elden Ring because they came out around the same time. If you'll recall, I have PUBG installed right now.
Oof, boy.
You know why? Because they had a new map that came out that people were excited about, and I just never played it.
Yeah.
I have Raft installed because I want to go back and play that game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to keep going down this list because I realize we have more important things to do. Anyway, back at it. The Expanse. So you didn't watch this. I'll give a quick overview.
Yeah, I was worried.
They're making a...
I was scared.
It's perfectly fine. They're making a Telltale game for The Expanse, which is, in hindsight, a perfect medium or perfect world to make a Telltale's game in, because you're not doing these bombastic things. A lot of it has to do with the minute-to-minute decisions of these people on these ships, which means lots of conversations, and what plays perfectly. The Telltale guys were really like stoked about how like they have the 0G segments, because Telltale notoriously is just like a conversation game. There's quick time events, sure, but there's not a ton of interaction outside of that. So some of these 0G sections on ships are going to be controlled by players, which looks kind of neat. Gives you some more interactivity there to make it more video gamey as opposed to just a normal Telltale's game. But Telltale's known for always having these really great stories in these universes that give you characters that they let you cling onto and love, and then they make you make horrible decisions about those characters. I've never played the Walking Dead one, but I've heard very good things about it. I think from you and from Scott.
I never played it either. Well, not beyond the first chapter or whatever, but I've heard very good things about it.
I played through the Batman Telltale series, and that was really good. It was really well done. It was a nice, unique take on things. Kind of stole a little bit. They do what I love, which is where they steal a little bit from different interpretations and kind of make their own thing from it, which is always really good.
I played a Wolf at the Door, or a Wolf Among Us. I think it's a Wolf Among Us.
Okay.
Like the first two releases or whatever. I thought that one was really well done. People didn't like that one, and I couldn't figure out why. I thought it was really good. I never finished it, but
I never finned. This is going to tell the story of Kamina Drummer. So she's in the show. She's played by Cara Gee, and the actress who plays her is going to be doing the voice in the game as well. And this seems to be a prequel story to her from before we meet her in the show. So this is interesting. I'm looking forward to it, by the way, just to get that out of the way. I talked about how much I love The Expanse, and I haven't updated you recently, but my love has only grown because I've officially surpassed, by a long shot at this point, where the show ended in the books. So the show ended on season 6, but the season 6 show diverged greatly from the book because they were trying to condense and wrap things up. So really, like 1 through 5 is almost perfect 1-to-1 for the books, with a lot more detail in the books, obviously, like we discussed.
Yeah.
6 is different, and then the books go to 9. So there's 7, 8, 9, fresh territory, never touched. I'm on book 8 right now, and I love it, and I want to tell you what's going on because it's crazy.
You can't
and
do
I
it.
can't.
You can't
and I can't do it.
I really put that on the back burner though, because Better Call Saul. Well, so many shows have come out in the past like 6 weeks. But I was literally just thinking a couple days ago that I need to pick it back up. I started Midnight Mass, by the way, that you and Scott really liked, and it's really good. Like
I thought you had watched it already.
No, nope.
You didn't watch that? Fuck, that show is great.
I know the hook of the show because obviously we talked about it on the show, but it's fine. Like I just love the setting.
I could have sworn you had watched it.
No.
Oh. Dude, the show's great.
I got into episode 2, and I told Veronica, I'm like, I think you'd like this, and I'd be willing to start it over. So I put a pause on that too. But it's really, really good so far. I really like it. Yeah. So
I actually like, that's one of the rare shows where I would go back and watch it, even though I know everything that happens, because it was well done. It was a good show.
Yeah.
It's it's just creepy enough.
It's very creepy. This part where he goes out and he sees the Monsignor, well, who he thinks is the Monsignor, in the tall fedora, and he's just running down the beach, like slinking all tall and stuff. I was like, oh God, it's just like,
it's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So something, oh God, you're just like this. You're not as bad. I work with somebody who's seen all the show but never hasn't read the books past there, and something happens right after season 6 that is major that was not in the show, and I was like, I gotta tell you this thing, and he was like, nah, fuck you, I might read them eventually. Right. And I'm like, what is that shit?
So like 10 years from now, you'd be like, can I tell you now? I'd be like, well, I might get around to it.
I need somebody to talk to about it. Anyway, yeah, I love the books, and fuck, I really can't say anything because
can't do it.
Okay, all right, yeah, fuck, I can't even work my way around it because it's so quintessential to what happens. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. It's coming out in 2023. Look for it if you like The Expanse. I could not recommend it highly enough. You can go find all 6 seasons of the show online somewhere on Prime, I think. That rhymed. Didn't mean for it to rhyme, but all that rhymed, and I felt very good about it.
Yeah.
We had been treated to High on Life before. High on Life is like a Rick and Morty. It's not actually Rick and Morty, I don't think. It's supposed to take place in the universe, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
And it's from the same creators of Rick and Morty, and you can obviously tell. And this is, there's a world premiere trailer here that shows basically like a boss fight. And I like this one gun. Its like entire job is to make like MCU quips the whole time. And it's fucking hilarious, and I just love it. And I feel like this is the kind of game that I'm not gonna buy day one unless it comes out and people go, "Holy shit, it's a miracle game." But I'll definitely pick it up the minute it goes on sale because it looks really funny. And that's all I got.
I hated every second it was on.
Oh, I fucking knew it. I saw the look on your face while I was talking.
It was so annoying. It just thinks it's funnier than it is. And it's just like,
it's
like kitty graphics, but we say fuck and shit a lot. Like, okay. You know how, here's the best way I can describe it.
I'm a simple man, Derek.
You know how you have this bar, like you have this like thing with anime, any anime, even the good anime. The fact that it's anime, you can't begin to try to like it. That's how I feel with this graphical style. Like it's the same with like, what's it called? Like Psychonauts. And like Splatoon and anything that
you
has
won't play
this, like,
Grounded with me.
I don't even.
It's like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids survival game.
I mean, if it looks like this, then no, I will not. I just hate that like overly colorful, goofy. Everything looks like a cartoon. It's just like such an ugly style to me. I don't know. It's just not for me. And then like I said, the jokes on top of it was just like it makes you think it's kind of a kid's game, and then it's like, I'm gonna fucking cut your face off. It's like, oh, okay, that's very, very. What a shock! What a contrast you've painted. I don't know. Didn't do it for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Whatever. Fuck
you sounded really upset. Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, it's okay. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Moving on. I don't even know when it came out. I closed it too. Figure it out yourself, guys. Fuck that. We don't like it here on this podcast. Derek said so. All right. So this is the other game that is a cinematic, mostly with only very little gameplay towards the end. It's called Atlas Fallen, and it basically looks like Forspoken.
Yeah.
Everyone's making the reference that it basically looks like a new fantasy action RPG. It has magic in it. It does look a little different to me. Not a whole lot different, but a little different.
It looks like Forspoken Destiny Anthem. Like, if you just mashed all those together, you would get this aesthetic.
Forspoken-y. Whatever. You get the idea. Yeah, it looks like... It's crazy how something that's supposed to be like really bombastic and epic, it just feels generic.
Yeah. But I'm not mad at it. Like, I feel like it looks okay. Like, I don't know. It looks like it's going to be co-op. It looks like there's going to be classes. It looks like some classes are going to be more mobile than others. Some are going to be more... I love that kind of shit. When you all get together and everybody picks a class and like you're the slow tanky one, so you're not getting hit, but then you see your friend like zipping around and doing backflips and stuff and you're jealous of him, so then you want to play that class. I love that shit.
It's fun.
Love it.
It's fun.
But I don't know. I mean, we only got like 8 sequels of actual gameplay towards the end, so who knows if that's actually going to be the reality of it. But
and some of it was literally characters walking through this landscape. Yeah. I was like, okay. It's called Atlas Fallen. It's coming out in 2023 to PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. So it is next gen, baby.
Next gen.
Next gen. Moving on. We have.
Oh no.
I was waiting for you to see what's on the list. We're just gonna fly through this, okay? Because I got another game with Fallen in the title we got to get to after this. Pinocchio released another trailer. Remember how the first time around we said, this is kind of creepy. And as much as we all love Tom Hanks, I don't think he can save this movie.
No.
And guess what? This movie is kind of creepy. And as much as I love Tom Hanks, I don't think he can save this movie. And now that I see CGI Pinocchio in here, where they're trying to do like the most realistic, but still kind of looking exactly like his cartoon form.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that it's going to be creepy as fuck. And I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know how Disney execs looked at this and thought like, yes, this is the right way to do this film.
I feel like all of Tom Hanks' movies recently are just weird. Like he did that Elvis, all his roles rather, are just like off-putting and strange. Like he plays like Elvis's fucking manager or whatever in that new movie. And he like speaks in a German accent. He's like, "You will change the world, Elvis." It's like, it's so weird. It's just not like how you.
Well, my man got COVID. He's been on a downward spiral ever since.
Yeah, something. He lost some brain cells there. But seeing him down like nearly on all fours in a squat, talking to Pinocchio like he's a fucking praying mantis. "You've always been a real boy to me." It's just so weird. I hate it. I hate it. It's uncomfortable.
When you whistle upon a star, means no difference. Okay, anyway, moving on. Weird movie comes out September 8th if you want to subject yourself to it.
Yeah, my birthday.
Which apparently
the worst thing to get on my birthday.
Which apparently I didn't know it was your birthday. Thanks for the reminder. Which is
sure thing. You'll know it when you go see Pinocchio on opening night.
Well, it's Disney Plus Day, so right. Yes, you're really gifted there.
Right.
You got Disney Plus Day. It's for you.
Very fortunate. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Moving along. I don't remember this being announced during Gamescom, but I found the trailer. I think yesterday or the day before. It's called Lords of the Fallen. Mm-hmm. It looks to be a PS5 exclusive.
The Lords of the Fallen.
The Lords of the Fallen. Looks to be a PS5 exclusivo. And it's going to be like a dark fantasy action RPG. It looks like it's got... So there was a game that came out that was a Souls-like called Mortal Shell on Epic Games. And the idea there was that you basically had different generic builds of characters you would play in a Souls game. There's the traditional warrior. There's the assassin guy who's got like a quick dodge move that's got daggers. And you were like this nameless, soulless shell who would go in between them and take over whichever one you liked best or whichever one was most appropriate. I'm not saying it looks like you do this here. It does not. I only brought that up to say, like, the art style of the guys in Mortal Shell looks similar to this guy. It looks like Mortal Shell had sex with, like, the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings and out popped this guy from the trailer. And that's not me saying I think that looks bad. I like both of those things, and therefore I think it looks kind of cool.
So this is actually a sequel to Lords of the Fallen, which was like the first major Souls-like after Dark Souls.
It was not well received.
And it was very poorly received. And so I have heard people say, though, that if you go back and play Lords of the Fallen now, it's actually pretty decent. And basically that when it first came out, people just panned it because it wasn't Dark Souls. Like, they just couldn't handle the fact that it was... Apparently, it's very much slower even than Dark Souls 1 is, which is already pretty slow. And people didn't like that about it. And now that the games have become very fast-paced and people sort of miss the slower-paced stuff, I've read that it's better played now, I guess. But I remember playing it, like, when it came out, and this is before I had ever even gotten addicted to Souls games. And I... fucking
one of my proudest achievements.
Despised it.
Not even my achievement. I take credit for it.
Okay.
But Derek, mother.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Dawn sequence in the trailer.
It's weird. What a weird choice.
It's very strange.
I'm not saying that I was 100% mad at it, because like that song just does well with, like, I don't know, demonic kicking the shit out of it. I don't know what it is. But I was like, really?
It's Danzig's voice from eating all that cum.
Mother.
Are you aware of that a couple years ago he like heard a rumor that he eats his own cum, so he made a post on Facebook that was like, I do not eat my own cum. I will find who started this rumor.
That's fucking amazing, though.
It was really incredible. Yeah.
And if you want to fall in hell with me. Anyway, moving on. So the next trailer, speaking of eating your own cum. I'm kidding.
Glad you brought that up.
Glad you brought Eating Your Own Cum up. Dead Island 2, the re-announcement trailer happened. Look.
This video would not load for me, so I didn't watch it. Like, I refreshed it like 8 times. It just would not, so I just...
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Imagine imagine Dead Island, and then everything you've seen from Dying Light 1 and 2, and then...
And that's it.
It's this.
Yeah.
I'm honest, the trailer is kind of fun. It's like this dude in LA who's like living in a mansion of someone. He goes out and like he wants to turn on the TV and realizes he's got no batteries. So he picks up his shotgun and, you know, walks through the city killing a bunch of zombies to a store, and he's shopping all casually killing zombies, and he picks up whatever. It's a fun little trailer. Dead Island 2 was announced in 2014 and then went through development hell. It went through the first... I don't remember the name of all the developers, but I know it switched hands 3 times between different developers. No one thought they were going to see hide nor hair from this game ever again. And lo and behold, it's the re-announcement trailer from this other studio putting it together. And it's coming out relatively soon. They put a release date on this motherfucker. It's going to be coming out February 3rd, 2023. It's like not that far off. Dead Island always kind of pushed a little more comical than Dying Light was more serious about the situation they were in, but you could be forgiven for confusing the two, because Techland did work on the first Dying Light did work on the first Dead Island game, and they shared similarities. So things like weapon crafting, having a sword that you could strap a battery to and electrify it or something like those things were common occurrences between both games. Dead Island started to skew a little sillier with the DLC that came out for it. They would do really goofy shit and kind of have fun with it, whereas Dying Light stayed fairly straightforward and fairly hardcore. Especially with Dying Light 2, they did not take the joke aesthetic at all. The only thing that I absolutely can't stand about this game is that it's based in LA, and they're calling it Hell-A.
Oh, that is exceptionally bad. Just
the absolute worst thing that you can ever hope to achieve.
My fucking camera's doing it again. I don't know what did it.
Fucking camera.
Fucking camera.
Fucking camera.
Fucking camera.
Fucking camera. That's pretty good. Okay.
Come on, you son of a bitch. God damn it.
So he'll fix that, and I'll move on to our last trailer. We're finally here. Our last trailer, an hour and 22 minutes in, which means that we're going to fly through our reviews here. But this last trailer, I don't think I asked you about yet, and it is one that I'm very excited for. It is the trailer for the Daniel Radcliffe-led Weird Al Yankovic story. Now, clearly, this is not supposed to be a historically accurate film. This is supposed to be a silly riff on Weird Al and his history and where he came from. And this trailer is a fucking nut job of a trailer, and I loved it.
Yeah. I was not as crazy about the first one that we covered, but this one was pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty funny when he's like sings My Bologna the first time, and one dude's like, I can't feel my hands right now, or whatever the fuck he says. It's really funny.
He was like, what do you want to do with your life? He was like, I just want to write silly lyrics to songs that already exist.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with Madonna that clearly didn't fucking happen, where she's like, you want my song? I heard you're gonna cover my song Like a Virgin. And then she was like something like, I've had sex with 20-some people, so it's ironic, or something shit like that. And then, I don't know, it just looks like a good time. Daniel Radcliffe really seems to lean into these, no pun intended, weird roles.
Yeah.
And I love when the guy's like, Al Yankovic? That sounds like shit. We got to think of a new name. How about Weird Al Yankovic?
Yeah, and he goes, I love it.
I love it. That's why I think it's going to be great. The cops show up with a young Weird Al. We found your son at a polka party. Like, you know, just it looks like it. In other words, what I'm saying is I can see Weird Al's humor all over this.
Yeah.
And I can tell that he helped co-write the script. And his sense of humor is so wholesomely simple, yet still in this year, the 35th of my life, I still find entertaining. So I'm looking forward to it. Shit, I haven't done a free trial on Roku yet, so I'll make one of those when this comes out and watch that movie.
Oh, yeah.
When does this movie come out? I had it pulled up and then I rewound the trailer.
Then
November 4th.
Oh, not far.
Can't fucking wait. There's a point where he's arguing with his bandmates and he's like,
you guys are normal. Yeah.
I'm the weird dude. I can't wait. It really looks charming to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. All right, moving on to main topics. You said you finished Better Call Saul. Did you want to talk about that?
Briefly, because we got a lot to go over.
We do have a lot to talk about. First thing you want to talk about, where'd he go?
Better Call Saul.
But
I just finished it like 2 days ago. It's fresh in my memory.
Six. Better Call Saul wrapped up about 2 weeks ago at this point. 6 seasons, sorry. Of so do I have small gripes about the series? Yes, I do. And I'm just doing brief thoughts because there's a ton you could get into here. And then I'm going to give to you and then we'll do a little dissection, you know, the typical rundown. I do have some problems with things and I'll point them out a little bit later. But overall, I thought this show was wonderful. Like a really... I didn't think I could ever give a shit about his character. Like when they announced the spinoff series, I thought it was going to be a joke. And turns out that some of the seasons of this show were some of my favorite seasons of television, right up there alongside Breaking Bad and some of the older Game of Thrones series or seasons. I remember some of the moments for the show that I was waiting for you to catch up on that I thought were like, and not even all of them were Saul's because the ensemble cast of the show is Nacho's speech when he's about to die.
God, I know
is so fucking good, and I watched it on repeat. Like I kept rewinding it, and I'm like, oh god.
When we finished it, I said to Veronica, I'm like, I need to go back and watch that scene because
God.
yeah.
And that was in season 5, right? So I'm not spoiling anything.
No, that was 6. That was
it was
early
something.
on.
So you know the deal. Derek warned you in the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, it's true.
He's a good boy. He does it every time.
Yeah, I do it every single time in the same tone. I've just perfected that shit.
His speech, and the thing is, this show had the benefit of being able to plant breadcrumbs that it just forgets about until they want to reuse them. Yeah. And in this instance, I had completely forgotten that Nacho was responsible for putting him in his chair with the heart pills early on in the series. So when he's on the ground and he knows he's going to die and he's doing it for reasons to protect his family, and he's just like, and I want you to know it was me. God damn it.
Yeah.
It was so
intense.
tasty.
It was great acting.
Kim had some really wonderful fucking moments. And then the one I remember specifically...
God fucking damn it.
Oh, it's doing it a lot tonight.
I'm not reaching behind my tower again. We're just going to have to...
Oh, but I want to see your eyes when you tell me... No, I'm kidding. You don't have to reach. Find a USB port in the front, baby boy, and then you can do this easy pickings. Anyway, don't have to do that now. The storyline I wanted to reach out to you about was... That I wanted you to catch up on, I should say, was Mike Ehrmantraut when he had to kill the architect guy that was building...
Right,
This is like end of season 4, I think. Yeah, Werner Ziegler. And he has to take him out. And there's something I've always loved about characters that understand and come to terms with the gravity of the trouble they're in and go willingly. And I love that fucking scene. And I loved how much Mike respected that guy. And at the same time was like disappointed in him as like a father or a teacher would be. Like, I know you're better than this, but you failed the test and I have no choice but to flunk you, aka murder you in the desert. I don't know. I'm ranting for story beats. I had some qualms towards the end. In particular, one storytelling method that the show employed
Hit me with it.
But
I want to hear.
I liked it. Well, I want to hear your overall thoughts first.
My overall thoughts were, I'm just going to say the things I didn't like because there's so few.
Okay.
One is that it's a slow burn show, and when you have a slow burn show, when the boil comes, it's like, fuck yes. But there were certain seasons that, like, I just lost interest in watching the show altogether. It was so, like, I think it was around, like, season 3, where, like, for the entire season, nothing happens, and it just retreads the same ground again and again. And then
boom.
It ends really well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like there were just whole spans of episodes where it's just like, fuck, like, come on,
Yeah.
like, let's do the next thing. So, like, I've seen a lot of people complain about that, and I do agree with it. But ultimately, what made it good, it way more than makes up for that. The only other major gripe I have about it is that, and I mean this, Mike Ehrmantraut was way too competent. It was, like, annoying. Like, it was just unrealistic to have a show that's supposed to be so rooted and, like, paced, to have a guy that knows how to, like, fucking do everything under the sun and knows how to do it with, like, impeccable, like, that just felt cheap to me. It felt like, you know, Mike was like the badass gruff guy, you know, from Philly and Breaking Bad, and it felt like Vince just took that and was like, well, people think he's a badass, so let's really make them. It just came across as so, like, come on, he knows how to do this now too. Oh, he knows how to do that. Oh, he can get a guy for that. It's like, come on, everything he did along the way was like this effortless, seamless thing that he was just like, I'll take care of it. I don't know. I couldn't stand that. Ultimately, I still love the character. Yeah. But, like, there were some scenes that I was, like, literally rolling my eyes. Now that that's out of the way, the show was amazing. I mean, like, I feel like Breaking Bad was a more entertaining show. It had more, like, boom moments that, like, sort of took you off your seat. This was a way more human show. It was so heartbreaking. Like, you see in the first half of the show that, like, Jimmy's really trying to be a good person and just nobody fucking believes in him, and, like, except for Kim, and that's why he just sticks to her, and then of course even he pushes her away. It's just so tragic.
Their relationship is what the show revolves around.
It was incredible. I like, they're like my favorite like, you know, fictional couple or
They're
whatever
like
of all time.
Fucked up too.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I loved how you could slowly see her start to. She kept coming back, and after a while, you're like, she must like it, right? Because there's no other reason someone would like the punishment. And then you realize she does like it.
She's one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. I thought she was excellently written. Her arc was again very slow burn, but, like, she's just like this embodiment of, like, everybody considers themselves a good person. But then when you, like, really think about it, you're like, do I really do the right thing every single time? No, I don't. I do selfish things and I do self-serving things. And she's, like, just an embodiment of that. Where, like, you know, she's a good person when you look at just Kim Wexler as a whole. You know, she cares about people. She wants to see people do well. But she does these shitty things. And, of course, ultimately, in the end, she owns up to them. Let me think here. The scene where Jimmy, because she confesses up to her crimes, does the same, like, does this whole big showboat where he gets everyone into the room and just like unloads and says, I did this, I did that, I did the whole thing, was such a great scene. It was so cathartic because you're just sad seeing him be in denial that he had a hand in his brother's death. Dude, the scene with Howard dying, we were like in tears when Howard died. We were like,
oh, that scene was fucking
terrible.
harsh, man.
And then he gets fucking buried with Lalo Salamanca just in some
we watched
unmarked grave.
The entire fly scene in Breaking Bad, the famous fly episode, is all taking place over the corpse of Howard Hamlin.
And then there's just this great line, this little throwaway thing where after Jimmy, like, confesses all his crimes, he goes back to Bill Oakley. And Bill goes, what was that last bit about your brother? Because he admits that it led to him killing himself. He goes, what was that last bit? That wasn't a crime. And he just goes, yeah, it was. Like, it was just an awesome culmination to his character where he's like, I'm not talking about the law here. I'm not talking about some book. Yeah. It was a crime. I did something and my brother killed himself. Like, what the hell are you talking about? That's really it. I really loved it. It broke my fucking heart. The scene where Kim tells him she wants to divorce was like, I said to Veronica, I'm like, I feel like you just broke up with me. Like, I'm affected by this. It was just fucking excellent. Yeah, really like a 9 out of 10 show.
It was a really well crafted show.
Yeah.
And the Lalo Salamanca stuff I loved a whole lot.
He was horrifying.
I can see the complaint about Mike, but I just loved Mike, so I had a hard time, and then he very abruptly is just not in the show anymore at all, which felt odd to me. But
dude, and the time machine thing was speaking of with it flashes back in the last episode to Jimmy and Mike in the desert. Oh, if you could build a time machine, where would you go back to? Then with Walt, he has the time machine conversation, and this awesome fucking insinuation where it goes a flashback to when he first started bringing Chuck all his supplies or whatever, and Chuck has the book, The Time Machine, in his hand, implying that he had regrets about how he treated Jimmy. Oh my God, chef's kiss. Excellent writing. Just A1 writing.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I think especially the Breaking Bad crossovers didn't feel like fan service. They felt like they were there to help you learn more about Jimmy's character, which is ultimately what the show is about. I think watching it was like showing him a whole new, like, unspoiled landscape to plunder when he heard about Walter White and Jesse Pinkman. And I remember Mike warning him, like, you don't want any part of those guys.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I think I do. And, really it all came down to Jimmy just always wanting more and then getting what he wanted, but then getting in trouble and losing it. And my one gripe is a very silly one. It's an artistic one. I understand why they did the black and white scenes. It's a very easy way to communicate to the audience that these scenes take place in a different time. Mm-hmm. And from the beginning of the show, there were always this cool little moment. But the second that it stopped being flashbacks and everything was like modern day or happening now, I turned the color back on because it drove me nuts. That's just a personal preference.
I actually agree with you. I think that started off, like you said, as a way to show, like, hey, this is a totally different thing. And I feel like he didn't know that he was going to end the last couple episodes on being entirely in that time frame. Yeah. But at that point, it just would have been weird, I think, to like, it's in color now. But I agree. Like, I felt like he accidentally tied a hand around his back for that part. That's my guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like even something as simple as like having one of the scenes as him as Gene, and then just morphing it into color, and that's it. Like, that communicates to the audience that there's no more timeline jumping. To me, it does anyway. I don't know.
It was nice that it's Veronica point. I didn't even notice it when Kim lights his cigarette. The flame is in color, and then the cherry on the cigarette is in color for that whole scene.
That's cool. And judging by the last scene in the show, it all revolves around it. And it was very heartbreaking to watch, or not heartbreaking, heartwarming to watch him confess in front of her, because the one thing that made him want to be a better person was Kim.
Yeah.
I loved it very much. I think it was end of season 3 when he's got that immaculate argument against his brother in the courtroom. It was very satisfying. Mm-hmm. But then you immediately get your comeuppance because he goes and fucking dies. And you're like, oh, well, now I fucking feel bad. Anyway, moving on. Go watch Better Call Saul. It's a great show. It's now finished, and you can watch it.
Yeah.
On, I think, the first 5 are on Netflix. Now. Yeah, I feel like I got to, even if I don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically the same.
You know what I mean? Like, look, Walter White, a.k.a. Shit, what's his real name?
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston, thank you, was blanking. He didn't age... He aged much better than Jesse Pinkman did.
Yeah. Which doesn't
and
make
look,
much sense.
That's not his fault. He was a really young guy in Breaking Bad. He hadn't grown into his full adult voice, and I'm not trying to belittle him, but he hadn't, because his voice has deepened a lot. He's thickened out as a person. He's not as scrawny. He's not fat now. He still looks completely normal and thin, healthy, but he's thickened out a lot more. He was a scrawny kid, looked like a meth head back then. So, and I remember reading an article where Vince Gilligan was like, yeah, I mean, we could have used CGI, but it would have been weird. And like, that's just the nature of the business. Like, we had to shoot some scenes that were flashbacks. These guys aren't that young anymore. It is what it is.
I appreciate
suspend disbelief.
Vince did the same thing with Breaking Bad, where when he would show scenes back when Walter and whatever her name was, Julia or whatever, when he was like her teacher, her professor in college. Yeah. And they were like 20 years younger. Like, he would kind of like dim the lights and sort of put on some makeup, but like there wasn't this overt like, annoying de-aging stuff going on. It's like he's saying like, I know this takes place in the past. I'm going to put some work in, but just do the rest with your imagination. I actually appreciate that. I think a lot of the de-aging stuff just takes you out of it. So just like put a little bit of effort in there, a little bit of makeup, and then my brain will do the rest. It's okay. I don't mind.
I agree with that. All right, what's next? I'm going to pick the next one. Let's take a grab bag. Let's just get She-Hulk out of the way.
Okay.
So how do I say this? Episode 2 is better than 1, in my opinion. Again, not speaking for Derek. I think 2 is better than 1. If you haven't been on the internet, then you maybe don't know this, but episode 1 was kind of lambasted by a big chunk of the internet because Jennifer Walters' kind of excuse for how she's so much better at this thing than Bruce is because she's a woman and therefore has had to manage her anger her whole life, which is not a horrible statement to make on face value. However, She-Hulk and Bruce are like have completely different origins and backgrounds and are different people. And to the show, Marvel tries to do this where they tie up a complex issue and they try to put a little bow on it and they go, haha, look, feminism. Yeah. And that's not how it works. Like, yes, I think that her experience as a woman does play into how she behaves as a Hulk and how she's able to control it. However, she doesn't have an alter ego to deal with. She doesn't lose herself like a fucking werewolf every time she turns into the Hulk. So she's herself already, leg up.
Yeah.
Their circumstances are just completely different. So to say like, I'm just better than you at this because female genitalia is like, it's honestly it should be offensive to people. And like, and by people, I'm sorry, I'm beating around the bush. It should be offensive to feminists because I think it oversimplifies the view completely. And don't get me wrong. I think the show does a lot right as far as representing a woman in her position, but they do a couple like cliche things of like, the guys outside the bar that are hitting on her,
saying like every common line that like people like, it was just too. They portray men as so like every single man in the show is like this predatory, like, where you going, sweetheart? We're just trying to be nice to you. I don't know. I'm not saying it never happens, but it just seems so on the nose. Like
it's how I felt too. It's the same thing. It's like they were trying to wrap it up in such a nice, neat little bow that they just showed you the thing everyone expects to see.
Yeah.
And it felt cheap and not earned. And I'm not saying I love Tatiana Maslany as I think
excellent.
I think she's great. I think she's got great comedic timing. The CGI looks better in episode 2 than 1. I don't know why. I don't know if they had to make a bunch of changes to 1 to last minute. It's still a Marvel TV show, so it doesn't look, I don't think, as great as it would if it were a movie. And genuinely, the jokes that were in episode 2, I thought hit better because 1, I did not find very much funny at all. I honestly saw episode 1 and I was like, I just don't like this show. Much in the same way that like I didn't like Miss Marvel, and I was like, I feel like this is it's just not for me. And a lot of that was because of the beat you over the headedness. It felt like they were doing, and it feels like the show eased into itself a bit more with 2, and I hope that it continues on that line of thinking. Now there are some like comically just blatantly evil type of people, but like, I don't know, the whole tying in with Abomination, and there's this really cool conversation. I'm kind of deep diving ahead of you. I'm sorry, but
that's fine.
There's this really kind of interesting conversation. The show's supposed to be like a legal comedy drama, so it's not going to go overly in depth with these topics, but she's talking to Emil Blonsky, who's Abomination. And I know he was the bad guy in the Hulk, but he makes kind of a good point to her where he's like, I was working for the government. I thought I was the good guy. He was like, they shot me with that superhero serum, and then they just dumped a bunch more into me and turned me into a bomb. And I'm like, okay, I know he's not innocent here, but those are fair points to make. From their perspective, they thought Hulk was just going to go on rampages and ruin the city. Spoiler alert, he did that several times. Yeah. So I was like, that's interesting. Like, he just thought he was doing his duty as a military guy. He just got carried away. Anyway, how'd you feel about everything.
I really didn't like it. Starting with episode 1, the first thing you brought up, I think there's nothing wrong with that scene until the very last line. I think if you're introducing a female counterpart to an established character, there is nothing wrong whatsoever with having her be relatable to women in real life. And I'm not like one of these people that's pretending catcalling doesn't exist or that
Right.
isn't invasive and inappropriate in any scenario. But the fact that she went, she's explaining how she deals with anger, but she has to end it with, I know I can do it because I'm infinitely better at it than you are. If you just took that line out, it would be fine. But the thing that irks me about it is like you see this formula in everything. In any like reboot or passing of the torch. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, whatever. You have legacy characters. You have the new guys come in, and then instead of just letting the new guys like stand on their own and do their own thing, you have to like tear down the legacy guys. And I'm just tired of that. Like, I'm tired of, like, with Luke, and this is a bad example personally because I didn't mind that Luke kind of sort of fell from grace in the I have a lot of other issues with what happened with him over those movies, but the fact that he sort of fell into cynicism didn't bother me as much as it did a lot of people. But since that is a general opinion of those movies, it's just like, you give me 40 years where I love this guy, and the only way to make the new people look good is to make him look worse. That's just cheap writing to me. I just don't agree with that. Episode 1 was very jarring. I agree. There was like the humor was, it just thought it was so much funnier than it was. It did get better in season 2, but it still wasn't like, it didn't get any big laughs out of me or anything. Episode 1 also has this weird thing where it switches up its tone at the very end. It's sort of this like standard MCU thing for about 80% of it. And then all of a sudden when they're in the courtroom, it's like almost like a pulp show, like this, like bang, pow, bad guy's done. I won the day. It's like just this weird shift into a totally different kind of feel. And it didn't even really return to that weird pulp thing in season 2. So I'm like, what's going on here? It's just sort of like jumping around in styles. Again, like I just can't help, like, I'm not a fucking meninist or whatever they call, but like when every guy in the show, like in episode 2, the guy's like, oh, there's a hot girl over there, I'm going to go talk to it. I'm like, okay, we get it. Men are bad.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Every guy is just trying to fuck everyone. Like, I don't know. It's too much. It's on the fucking nose. It's like, I don't know. It's just grabbing for low-hanging fruit. Tatiana, I can't remember her last name, is incredible. She is Maslany. She is, like you said, great comedic timing. She's a great actor. And to stand next to a Academy Award nominated guy, Mark Ruffalo, and fucking dude, I have no idea how this guy has a career. And if you watch shit from him with 20 years ago, he was a decent actor. Now it's just like, even voice acting, which is really all we saw with him. Well, 90% of what we've seen of him in the show so far. He's just like, hey, what's up, Fuzzhead? You've got to learn to control your anger. I'm like, holy shit, were you on Xanax when you did your lines? Like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
I think it's really bad. The one thing that I liked is this. They have this sort of in-joke going, and I can't fucking remember what it was in episode 2. Maybe you'll be able to tell me. But, is it Jen? Oh my God, what's her name? What's the character's name?
Jennifer Walters
will sort of bring up like almost like fan theories or in jokes that the like MCU fan base has had for the past however long. Like obviously in the post credits of episode 1, it was like did Captain America die a virgin?
Right.
And then there was one in episode 2 and I just cannot remember what it is for the life of me. But in any event, after episode 1, I went, okay, well, I guess I'll see how episode 2 is, and then worst case scenario, I'll just, I might have to watch this for the Matt Murdock scenes. And now I'm tapping out. Episode 2, donezo. I will watch those scenes like when they air, but I don't like this show. I can't suffer through it just because I like Charlie Cox. So.
You like cacks, huh?
I like cacks.
You like cacks?
I like some cacks.
Some feminists would argue that's the reason why you're not going to watch the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep watching it. I did not like episode 1, but I did, like I said, I liked episode 2 a bit more. And, I don't know. Tatiana Maslany is so charming that I think she's shouldering a lot of the show on her own. And honestly,
they acknowledged that Hulk was played by another actor at one point.
I'm an entirely
different person now, literally.
Yeah.
And she looks at the camera and
kind of
goes,
liked it.
yeah, that was funny.
I kind of liked it. Yeah, so the whole him being called back to Sakaar potentially thing, some people think this might be his son. Spoiler alert. Hulk has a son in the comic books named Scar. I know, Sakaar, his name is Scar. Super comic booky. No idea how they would tie that in, or what the significance would be, or if people even want that. Who knows? But might be what he's doing. Anyway, yeah, She-Hulk. It's out. Tatiana Maslany is a honey, and I mean acting skill prowess wise, and also a beautiful woman. And she does a wonderful job. Hilarious. Go watch it. Give her some praise. But if you don't, you might not like the show, but she's cool. I was like, wait, I just said does a wonderful job, high praise. And then I was like, but the show I didn't give good reviews to, so I don't watch it if you want to. She's great. Watch it for her. Anyway, I don't see. That's the thing. I don't want to tell people to go watch it. Marvel's going to get the wrong idea.
Right.
We're not here for the show. We're here for her. She's awesome. Anyway,
we're here for
on.
Tatiana.
So what do we want to? You want to do House of the Dragoon?
Yeah, because I don't know. Top Gun's pretty quick for me. I don't have a whole lot to say about it.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's just knock out Top Gun then. I liked it.
Right.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's pretty. What else is there to say? It was there were some touching moments. It was kind of cheesy, but so was the original.
Right.
All the shit happening in the jets was like fucking cool. That tickled my ape brain. Like I need
100%.
high octane excitement shit.
80s action star. Let's do it.
Fucking threaded the needle between the bridge when that one 5th generation jet, I don't know what that means, does that air brake and just flips behind them.
Yeah.
Oh, how about the part where he fucking what's his name? Rooster runs out of flares and then he just air brakes behind him and lets his flares loose as he's drifting behind him. Ah, so good. Very good.
Yeah, some of that jet shit was really fucking cool.
And Rooster saying, "Talk to me, Dad," was like, okay. I knew it was
coming.
Yeah,
we knew.
And it worked. It worked.
He got me.
But yeah, it was good. I see why it did so well.
And also,
very,
does Jennifer Connelly age?
I know. Oh my God, dude, she is so beautiful. She
Question
is
of the day.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, she really is. Okay, Top Gun Maverick. Very fun, very entertaining. There's a reason it did very well at the box office. Yeah. It's just a good fucking action movie. Go see it. It's fun. John Hamm's in it. Doesn't do much besides be super serious military guy.
Jerk. Yeah.
He's just a dirk.
A dirk.
He's a real dirk.
A dick and a jerk.
Okay. House of the Dragon. Pump up the dragon.
HOTD.
HOTD. These first 2 episodes are out. The second one just aired last night. So of course, a horse. Of course. We always say spoiler warnings at the beginning of the episode. Spoiler warnings for the show. I actually don't have a ton to say about the show either, but there's a lot in it that I could talk about. My overall thoughts are thus. This reminds me of when Game of Thrones was in its prime and has yoinked me right back into it because Game of Thrones was good when Game of Thrones was early on because all the political intrigue and the houses fighting and the gore and the sexuality and the misconduct of royals. And I thought it was all very cool. And that's what this is so far. So I can't even a little bit begin to act like I don't like it. And in fact, whereas I think She-Hulk does female empowerment or feminism a little poorly, mostly because it's so on the nose, there's no complexity to it. I think this show has been doing a great job. I mean, don't get me
immensely well. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Some of these females are still victims in horrible circumstances, but the self-enlightenment or self-appreciation or basically the knowledge, the depth of the knowledge of the situations that they're in the world around them is like a breath of fresh air for the Game of Thrones series because they didn't really have that perspective before. And everyone and their mother has quoted it, but the line from the Queen in the first episode where she tells her daughter, men have their battlefields. Our the beds are battlefield. The birthing chambers are battlefield. Yeah, I'm 100% on board so far. I don't like Matt Smith's face, so I don't like him in just about anything, but he is a great bad guy in this.
Dude,
I can't wait.
Everybody's really singing his praises, and like he is a great actor, but like I feel the same way. I hate his face so much.
The last time I saw him, Morbius.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, from that to this, oof.
Take that, fucker.
Rough jump. Anyway. No, I agree. I think I'm ready to hurt again, ready to love again. It's good. It's people I've seen. I have like the weirdest complaints about it that almost don't matter. But
okay, hit me with them. I'm ready.
I've seen other people complain. The big one I see is like, oh, it's moving so fast. Everything just sort of happened. That is a bullshit complaint because we already know Game of Thrones had to set up the whole world and the houses and the regions and the blah, 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 while setting up this story seamlessly. We don't need to get set up in the world. We know the world. All right, it's 200 years prior, but like you don't need to do all that.
Still.
It's you can jump right into it.
Technology clearly hasn't advanced, so we're good.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. All the acting talent is incredible. The woman who plays Rhaenyra is like, fuck, I love her, man. She just owns every scene that she's in.
Oh, and she's so good in episode 2. Holy shit.
Yeah, like exceptional. When she shows up to Dragonstone on whatever her dragon's name is, I forget, and like gets her baby brother's egg back from God.
Vislyrian.
Sure, some of them with a V and some S's. And
Vagonian.
Vagina. No, it's fuck, man. I don't know what to say. It's just good. My weird complaint that doesn't matter. That's stupid to even say.
Hit me with it.
Episode 1. There's a tournament. Okay, they're doing jousting and shit, and all the noble houses are there. And at one point, they just go into this frenzy, and they just start killing each other. And that's just absurd to me. Like, these aren't people who are... I know it's dumb to talk about realism in a show about fucking dragons and, like, Night Kings and shit. But I'm just saying, when you have all the great houses of the realm together, like, you could, like, hire some stupid lowborn peasant to be your champion to fight for you. But, like, it just came off weird that, like, they're literally goring each other. Like, just imagine, like, we go to whatever, the king's thing, and, like, my son just bashes your son's head in. Are you just going to, like, all right, back to business as usual? Or are you going to go to the king and be like, you need to kill that guy and his whole family because he killed my son? That was just a little weird to me. That's really my only complaint.
Dude, in the ickiness of episode 2,
yes,
when they're like, oh, marry my daughter. And you're like, okay, cool. What's up with this? Oh, my God, she's 12.
Yeah.
And it's fucking gross.
I thought, for whatever reason, from all the like promo shots, that Corliss was going to be like a good fella. Nah, he's kind of a sneaky, snaky dickhead.
That's the sneaky dicky is what we call him.
But Otto Hightower is fucking awesome. I don't know why. He's a dick. He's disgusting because he pawned his daughter off to go suck the king's dick. Yeah,
bro.
But every scene he's in, he's just so menacing.
Hey, I'm going to be out tonight. You going to go suck them old balls, right?
Wear your mother's dress.
Oh, God, I forgot, dude.
Yeah.
The women in this show, and they have really done a great job of, like, not... It's the She-Hulk thing where it's like... I don't know if it's because they have such a shorter format, so they felt like they had no time to be subtle with it, but, like...
Yeah.
This show does such a great job, House of the Dragon does such a great job of showing the struggles of these women in these horrible, inhospitable times for them and how strong they have to be to actually make any headway. And Rhaenyra, holy fuck, her driving... Are you driving? Her riding her dragon down the Dragonstone to confront Daemon was so sick, and she's a fucking badass about it.
Dude, and visually, the fog rolling up behind, like... blotting out the sun. Oh my God, that was such a great scene.
Blot out the sun. And I was like, oh wait, Dragonstone. That's where they were fucking hanging out in Game of Thrones. Like I totally forgot. And then they're in the meeting room, and I'm like, oh, this is the scene where they left the Starbucks cup on the table, and everybody freaked out.
Yeah.
Remember that episode? That's fun. Anyway, I just really 10 out of 10 so far. Like if you missed Game of Thrones, it's scratching that itch. It's so really crazy to me. We talked about it in chat, but the dichotomy between leading up to this, and we were like, gonna be bad, needless cash grab, I don't give a fuck about this. And then it comes on, and you're like, well, of course I was gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, well, of course it's good. because it's Game of Thrones before they fucking ruin the show.
Dude, that has been everybody's reaction to this show. Everybody was like, "Oh, it comes out next week. I didn't even know," and now everybody likes it. Oh, dude, the costume design, which was always already good in Game of Thrones, is like somehow so much better in this show. In fact, I saw a side by side of Rhaenyra and Daenerys. And Daenerys looked like she was wearing a costume from fucking Spirit Halloween. And like at the time, that looked amazing. But they've somehow just gotten like just infinitely better. It's insane. I love it.
Now they use cotton. I don't know. Just made something up. Okay, cool. Go watch it. Can't recommend it. Can't recommend enough. Yeah. I think we're done.
I think that's it.
We're gonna watch Nope for next week, which I'm like really excited to watch. Actually, Lord of the Rings episode 1 and 2 we'll have for next week. Mm-hmm. We haven't been doing What We Do in the Shadows, but the last episode was pretty good.
Wait, the last episode, Aaron? Or are you saying the most recent episode? The most recent
episode. Okay. Are you caught up?
No, I'm like a couple behind at this point.
It's very good. You should watch it. Anyway, that's going to wrap her up. This has been episode 79 of The Cynical Nerd. Black Void, Derek, where can everybody find you?
Just on Twitter, Dr. Gloom MD, DRG, LOO, MMD. I wanted to beat you because you always try to do it at the same time as me.
I think I spoke over you, so I'm just going to, it's DRG, LOO, MMD. I did, because I was trying to say, I was trying to give you the moniker of BVD for Black Void Derek. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I'm not streaming. I would be lying to you if I said I was. I just haven't. I gotta be honest with you, I haven't found the love for it recently.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's been really fun, but we haven't talked about this. I got a minute. We're just at 2 hours. Okay, this won't be long. I am like a week exactly today into my diet, so I've recommitted and locked down. I had like 7 drinks all last week, and they were all over the weekend. I had like 3 Friday, 3 Saturday, which 3 drinks in a night for me is fantastic compared to what it used to be. Been going to bed no later than midnight, and that was on the weekends. So like every other night was like 11. Doing very good, so I'm happy about that.
Love this.
And it just doesn't leave room for anything. Like, we're gonna get done recording, I'm gonna mix it, I'm gonna play like a little bit of games, and it's gonna be time for bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Derek and I are still playing a lot of WoW, and we're getting into the good stuff finally. We do some mythics to run.
It's true. Can't wait.
Can't wait. Tomorrow. That means we're gonna miss the reset. That means we have to wait a week to get the gear from it, but that's okay. Fine. You plan for the future.
We're planning.
That's it. We're gonna wrap it up. We'll talk to you next week, and keep your noses clean
and your dicks tucked in. Give it all in.